When beauty becomes a weapon, it can change everything. What if your own sister was the one standing in your way? How far would you go to steal what isn't yours and take the life you always wanted? In the bustling city located deep in the heart of Africa, nestled in wealth, elegance, beauty and privilege, a powerful couple, Chief and Madam Adewale, are blessed with two beautiful daughters, twins. Welcoming them into the world in style, they knew the future would be as bright as their fortune. Little did they know, the bond between the twins would be tested by forces beyond the physical. But from birth, it is clear that the two girls, though identical in genes, will walk very different paths. Two beautiful daughters are legacy. They will both be stars. But my dear, don't you think Adesewa looks a bit more like you? She'll surely turn heads. Chief Adewale, smiling, looking at them proudly. My beautiful girls, Akani and Adesewa, they will carry grace and charm. Look at them, husband. They will be loved and cherished. Madam Adewale, teary-eyed, cuddling the twins, smiling endlessly. Years passed. While both girls were equally adored by their parents, fate would cast them in contrasting lights. The twins, now in their teens, play on the floor. One, Adesewa, radiates beauty and grace as she arranges flowers. The other, for her spirit, Akani, less striking in appearance, sits with a sneer, tossing papers around carelessly. Akani, can you be gentle like your sister? You are bothering the peace in here. Madam Adewale speaks to Akani, irritated. Why? She's perfect, isn't she? Everyone already loves her. On the other hand, it is, oh Akani this, oh Akani that. Just let me be already. Akani responds, rolling her eyes in frustration. It's not about being perfect. You just have to try to be kind. Adesewa softly speaks. The house help Amaka walks into the room, announces, please come to the table. The food is served. Chief Adewale, Madam Adewale, and their twin daughters slowly make their way to their fancy dining room. While at the table, Adesewa gracefully eats her food, observing proper table manners and ladylike behavior, whereas her twin Akani disrupts the peace of the meal. Her parents look at her worriedly, wondering where they may have gone wrong. They hope their dear Akani will change, be more like Adesewa. Later that day, the two sisters sit in their lavish backyard. While Adesewa receives compliments from neighbors and admirers, Akani holds a book, lost in what seems to be a very interesting conversation with their gardener. Ah, Adesewa, you'll break many hearts. Your beauty is indeed something else. Their neighbors say in admiration, Here, Baba, you work so hard. This is for you. I believe you will find it most relaxing on your time off. Akani says excitedly to the gardener, handing over a book. Akani glances at Adesewa, her sister surrounded by admirers. She lowers her gaze, feeling overshadowed. The difference between the twins grew more apparent over time. Adesewa was the epitome of stunning beauty, manners, and captured attention effortlessly, admired by everyone, especially the boys at school. Akani, on the other hand, though not as captivating physically, was mean-spirited and often overshadowed by her sister's charm, but beloved for her brilliance and confidence. Adesewa walks gracefully across the schoolyard, a group of boys smiling as they watch her pass. Akani, walking behind her, glares at them. One of the boys, Kunle, approaches them. Hey, Adesewa, would you like to study together later? Kunle to Adesewa, smiling nervously. Adesewa smiles back politely. I'll think about it, Kunle. Well, see you later. Kunle, oblivious to Akani's presence. Of course, Kunle wants her. They all do. Akani, sarcastically mumbling under her breath. Later that afternoon, the twins are in a cafeteria. Adesewa is surrounded by boys, while Akani sits alone with her books. Adesewa's beauty had become the talk of the school. Boys flocked to her, leaving Akani in her shadow. But in Akani's heart, there was someone, Chike, the boy who seemed to see more than what was on the surface. He is a friend to all, not selective with whom he interacts with. Adesewa is laughing with her friends, as Chike occasionally glances at Akani from across the room without her noticing. Chike approaches Akani. He nervously smiles kindly. "Hey, Akani, I was wondering if you'd like to go out together sometime. Maybe share a few tricks from last week's quiz." "Oh, sure, I'd love that." Akani nervously responds with a rare but genuine pretty smile on her face. Chike smiles, but as he attempts to sit down with Akani, one of Adesewa's friends interrupts and pulls him away, leaving Akani sighing, with a frown on her face. They only see her face, not who she is. If only they knew. There's more to me than they see. Akani, now angry, storms off talking to herself, watching her sister. The jealousy inside Akani began to fester. She envied the attention her sister received and grew resentful that no one seemed to care for her. Or so she thought. Until one day she had an idea that would change everything. Back home in the Adawal mansion, Akani stands by the door of Adesewa's room. She watches as Adesewa brushing her hair in front of the mirror. Akani, hesitant, walks in and begins to speak. "Adesewa, I know this may sound strange, but I've always wondered how it would feel to have your beauty. Just for one night. I want people to see me like everyone sees you." "My beauty? Ha, Akani, if only it was something you could borrow." Adesewa, raising an eyebrow, jokingly responds. Akani returns to her room, desperation growing within her. She longed to be noticed, not just for her personality, but as someone worthy of admiration. Akani paces her room, consumed with jealousy. She stops in front of her mirror, looking at her reflection, her face hard with determination. That night, she made a fateful decision. Her sister Adesewa knocks on the door and enters, looking concerned. "Are you okay, Akani?" Adesewa softly asks with concern in her voice. Akani suddenly smiles mischievously. "Actually, I was thinking, there's this boy, Chike. He likes you, Adesewa, but I really want to go on a date with him." "But Akani, why would you?" Adesewa, confused, tries to speak but is cut off. "Let's swap. I'll take your head for the night, go on the date, and return it afterward. It's just one night." Akani speaks fast, cutting her sister off. "Swap heads? Akani, that's impossible." Adesewa responds in a shocked tone. Akani, darkly with a smirk, speaks. "Not impossible, if you really trust me, dear sister." After a moment, Adesewa sighs, reluctantly agreeing, nodding her head. "Fine, but you must promise to return it." Adesewa says in an unconvinced tone. Blinded by her love for her sister, Adesewa agrees, never imagining the consequences that would follow. Akani and Adesewa sit across from each other, and suddenly a strange, mysterious, mystical glow fills the room. With a strange chant, their heads swap. Adesewa's beautiful face now resting on Akani's body. Akani, now wearing her sister's head, smiles wickedly. Perfect. Chaik will never know the difference. Akani, admiring herself in the mirror. Remember, just for tonight. Adesewa nervously says to her sister, "Come on, sister, don't worry, all shall be well. You know I would do the same for you in a heartbeat." Akani says mischievously to her sister. Akani had borrowed Adesewa's beauty, literally. But with it came consequences no one could have foreseen. And so, the sisters parted for the night, one with excitement, the other with growing fear. In the restaurant, Akani, now wearing Adesewa's head, walks confidently into the restaurant to meet Chike. She sits across from Chike at a lavish restaurant. Chike gazes lovingly at her, in confusion, but decides to play along with the deception. You look even more beautiful in person outside school. Chike smilingly speaks as he looks at Akani, who now has Adesewa's face. Chike was thinking to himself, why is Adesewa here? I didn't invite her. I remember asking Akani out instead. Thank you, Chike. Akani, grinning, trying to act sweet like her sister, Chike politely asks, attempting to find out what was going on. So, Adesewa, how is your sister Akani? Hope she is not unwell? Akani responds, speaking softly, trying to mimic her sister Adesewa's way of talking, but fails miserably. No, nothing like that. She's at home reading. You know, she's such a bookworm, always with her little books. Chike knew something was off from the moment he saw Adesewa instead of Akani. Come on now, Chike. Let's not talk about Akani. She's not here. Let's talk about us. Akani nervously tries to change the topic. As the night progresses, Akani's true nature begins to slip through. She interrupts him rudely with her spirited character, laughs at inappropriate moments, and speaks ill of others, especially herself. Chike's smile begins to fade. I thought you were different, Adesewa. You seemed kinder before. Please don't speak ill of Akani. She's your sister. Chike says, frowning. Does it really matter? I'm still beautiful, aren't I? Akani responds, irritated. Chike began to see that beauty was more than just a face. It was the heart and soul of a person. However, what Akani failed to realize is the whole evening, Chike only spoke and asked about her, Akani, and not Adesewa's beauty. All she had to be was herself. Back at the Adiwal mansion, please Akani, you promised, give it back. Adesewa speaks, pleading. Why would I? Everyone finally loves me now. I'm you now. Akani laughs cruelly as she responds. But you're not me. You'll never be me. Adesewa, teary-eyed, continues to speak. Akani refused to return the head, her heart hardened by jealousy and selfishness. At the high school, Adesewa was now wearing her sister's head. She got a bitter taste of the life that is Akani's every day, being left of fun activities, conversations, and having no real friends, but only seeing everyone prefer her face over true meaningful connections. Adesewa thought to herself, I really should have been a better sister. Maybe Akani would not be the person she is now. She finally understood where her sister's frustration and anger came from. Chike approaches Adesewa, who is now wearing Akani's head, having pieced together the truth. He stands in front of her, smiling softly. I know what you did for your sister. Chike says sympathetically. You know? Adesewa responds, surprised. Chike nodding. Yes, and I have a confession to make. I went on that date expecting to see the face you are now wearing, but I saw another. Adesewa, I know you. You are kind and caring. The person I met portrayed none of those virtues. She was mean and tough, wearing your face, but deep down I see Akani for who she really is. She only does these selfish things out of unwarranted jealousy and frustration. It doesn't matter what head she wears. It's her that I like. Her intellect and her spirited character draw me to her. That's what makes her truly beautiful. I wish she knew that. Sadly, maybe she never will. Chike looks sad at the thought of Akani not realizing how truly beautiful she is. He smiles empathetically to Adesewa and walks away. Akani was not so far behind. She heard all that Chike said. Shocked that someone appreciated her for who she is, she broke down in tears. Beauty isn't everything, she said, even more tears running down her face. What she always wanted, she already had. However, jealousy blinded her to it all. He secretly had a crush on Akani. If only Akani saw herself in Chike's eyes, She wouldn't have wasted time pulling such strings to be with a person who already liked her for who she is. Akani, heartbroken by Cheek's words, finally agrees to give back the head, realizing that beauty without kindness is hollow. The twins embrace, the mystical glow returning as they swap heads back to their rightful bodies. Akani tearfully says, "I'm sorry, Adesewa. I was wrong." "It's okay. We'll always be sisters." Adesewa responds, hugging her tight. In the end, it was the heart that won, not the face. The moral of the tale of the Adewale twins teaches us that beauty is not in the face, but in the soul. Jealousy and envy can only distort what is truly valuable, the kindness and goodness that make us who we are. Thanks for watching. If you found today's story about this sibling rivalry captivating, make sure to hit like button and subscribe for more unique stories. We're just getting started with tales that explore life's toughest choices, supernatural secrets, and the true meaning of character. Turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know when a new story drops. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below about your favorite moment, or let us know which type of story you'd like to see next. Until next time.